Listen, on this episode of Let's Talk Local, if you're feeling lost in that mid-range life series that you're in, especially the ladies, Mary Boyer is here today to help you move along. New mindset, better body, better life. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss it.
Let's talk local, share the vibe. Every voice, every story helps us thrive. From the stage to the food truck, hear it right here at 216. Oh, we bring the cheer. Listen global, feel the pride. Local passion that we won't hide. Every episode a brand new ride. Let's talk local, come be our guide. Hear the local business shining bright. Stories of struggle, stories of life.
What's up, folks? It's your boy Cappuccino here in another episode of Let's Talk Local. Listen, if you like what you see here today, go to the old Google box on YouTube, 216 Creator Studios. Like, share, subscribe, ding that bell for the future notifications. We always appreciate the support. Let us in the chat. Let us know what you like about it. Let us know what you don't like about it. We're always trying to improve. Today, we are talking with Mary Boyer about a midlife movement. Welcome to the show, Mary.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So there's a time in everybody's life where they go, and I know for men, it's like, it's time to buy the Porsche, get 1,000 tattoos and pretend I'm 20 years old all over again. That's probably a little bit different for women, and maybe a handful that kind of go through that too. But there's a lot of mindset stuff, and you are the ultimate trainer in a lot of this. We've gotten great feedback about you and what you're doing to help people in midlife. So let's start with first things first. Why are you doing what you do? What brought you to this onion that we're peeling apart?
Oh, I like that. In general, like from the very beginning.
Yeah, from the very beginning.
Well, I have a background as an athlete. I was a former competitive gymnast.
Ooh.
For 11 years. And as I came out of high school, I wasn't the best student. I certainly didn't foresee my parents spending money on college. I just didn't feel the traditional route was me. Interestingly enough, in that time period, I always thought of myself as opening up a business, a gym. I did go to beauty school. So after I got married, I went back into coaching. So coaching in the gymnastic arena for a club level gymnast.
Nice.
And I had been in that environment for a little over 20 years. Through that experience, and I loved it. I loved working with athletes. As we got into the 2000s and I had my last baby and getting a little older, I was like, I love coaching these athletes, but I feel like my peers need some help. And so I just started going through certifications and gaining, experience and education within the fitness realm and then the nutrition, and still kept the mindset of one day I'm going to open up my own thing. And so really it was just being an athlete my whole life, and just not letting that go and wanting to help people get strong, stay strong, all things.
I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. So for a long time, well, as an athlete too, you're in one shape of your life growing through the stages, right? And then life happens, marriage, kids. And so it's hard to, I'm trying to find the right words for it. It's hard to say, hey, I'm on to the next stage, right? What are key points for people out there to know how to adapt in creating the new journey of their second half? Right?
Yeah. The second chapter, all things that I wrote in a book that I published a couple of years ago, The Great Hormone Heist.
Ooh, Great Hormone Heist. Check it out, folks. Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon, yes. But I bring that up because I do a lot of things in my business world in terms of programming, the way I approach that business, the way I have approached the writing that I ended up falling in love with. Again, I couldn't put two sentences together in high school. And so all of a sudden I'm like writing and doing things. But to answer that, as I had my last child in my early 30s, got divorced at 40, was this athlete, right? This prime, in shape, competitive gymnast, did some CrossFit competing. And I was like, okay, who am I? And what do I do going into my 40s? Like, can I remain that person? Can I carry Gymnast Mary with me? Does it have to evolve because the narrative is telling me different than what my brain is saying?
Sure.
So, those early 40s were very challenging in terms of my mindset. And I was really struggling with, well, no, I still want to be the 15-year-old that can
Right.
get up, walk on my hands, do all things. But the clients and the friends and my mom, oh, Mary, you're going to have to settle down and you're not going to be able to do all the things that you did back then.
Oh,
And I was like, but that's BS.
watch me, right?
Again, I haven't led my life traditionally.
Sure.
So through that, and hopefully I'm answering this for you, through my own going through that cycle and that period of life and that perimenopausal and all things, and having a good, solid clientele of a lot of women. I do train men, but in that moment, I was listening to their fears and their their issues of insecurities of who am I going to be moving into this next cycle. I was like, all right, you know what? We don't have to listen to that narrative. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to change that narrative, and we can certainly evolve into our late 40s and 50s and 60s, and we can continue to carry a mindset that is strong, that says, hey, if I want to be active, I can. There's going to be some things quite possibly that have to change, and we might have to adapt to what the body is telling me. The joints might be a little bit, older and all things, but no, we can move forward into this cycle and adapt to that and change some of the accessories if they need to be. I don't know if that answered.
No, it totally answers my question. I mean, so I'll reverse the truck a little bit. I call it life unscripted. I was raised life unscripted as an entrepreneur. I didn't do the college traditional thing either. It was always about how can I help people? There's always a need to help, right? So where can I make a difference in somebody else's life and fill that need? Yeah. And if I can make a living doing that, winner. So I understand that. And then you get, it seems like you blink your eyes twice and you go from 18 to 40. Right. And it's like, whoa, what just happened? And how fast did that go? And how many sausage sandwiches did I eat? Right.
Yeah.
A lot. Italian. So I think that mindset of and raised that way too, where it's like, give that up. That's over. Yeah. You're never going to be able to. In that mindset, there always needs to be that lion or lioness that goes, watch me. Right. Yeah. Let me show you how to. And then you could say, watch me. Yeah. Watch me do what you think I can't do. And sometimes that's a driving force for a lot of people. So with the programs that you have, let's kind of walk through some of these steps. And so we got small group personal training. Yeah. Give me the start. How do people sign up for that? And what is that? Give me a small summary of how that works.
So the programming that I have always had is basically giving personal training in a small group setting. So what I provide is a progressive overload strength training program.
Nice.
Which, if you've been in the industry and if you're any kind of coach, you understand what that means. The majority of people, especially women, I have come to understand over the years, they don't understand the benefits to a solid program. And then how you can manipulate that program to your ages, your fitness levels. Because I take all ages, all fitness levels. It just so happens from my youngest that are 12 and my oldest that is 80, I've got a niche in between there, right, of that midlife man and woman.
Right.
And again, based off of what we were talking about before, they don't understand programming. So that's where I come in. I do all of the programming. I take the whole year and I divide it into 2. Which means we're going to test our 1 rep maxes on 8 different exercises. And, once I start saying all that, they're like, oh gosh, I don't know what that means. Like, that's so much lingo. And, and all things.
That means 20 pounds, as much as you possibly can do right. Until you want to die.
Right. And so the first thing that I do to get them to become comfortable and not intimidated and not have that fear that they're all going to have is going over the conversation that, listen, strength is a non-negotiable.
Mm.
The narrative out there doesn't talk about it. They don't talk about muscle. We talk about skinny. We talk about skinny and fat. We don't talk about being athletic in your midlife. We don't talk about how to maintain that, how to be an athlete, how to grow muscle and get strong. Because the whole world, as we see it right now, is so dead set on being in weight loss mode, being in weight loss mindset all the time. And I have had some of the strongest and the healthiest women in their late 40s and 50s who I've worked really hard with to change the mindset, where they're like stepping on the scale still and, oh, but I still got 10 pounds to lose. Sorry, Karen. No, you don't. Absolutely not. We're adding 10 more pounds of muscle right now.
Right.
Stop listening to that. Yep. It's about, because muscle, as we get older, especially a woman, when our hormones start to change and we start to lose that viable estrogen, we're also going to lose muscle, and muscle mass is going to go super fast as we get out of our 40s into the 50s if we're not strength training. So because I understand the physiology of the body that way, it's helping them understand the benefits of a strength training program that we're going to take 5 days during the week. You're going to show up 3 to 5 if you can. We're going to learn how to work and move upper body, lower body. We're going to do some trunk and core. We're going to work on balance, all things that if we choose to not do anything, we're going to lose that all and we're going to be broken. Like, you know, you can walk into a local Walmart and you see how broken our peers are right now. And I say that very kindly and with emotion, because I get very sad when I'm in public and I see the breakdown of our peers. I'm like, if you only knew
they give up,
that you can change this. You don't have to succumb and be a victim to what that narrative is out there. Am I staying on track?
No, I love it. This is really good information. I mean, listen, I have a friend that started working out, did the Ozempic, went through a bunch of different things. And, you know, at our age, cortisol levels retain water. And for a man, it creates that dad bod.
Yeah. That
hard upper kind of thing right there. And you tracking his weight, but he's been lifting and lifting. He's like, I gained weight. I'm good.
Yeah.
You want muscle weighs heavier than fat. And so as you start shredding or trimming down during your strength training part, you got bulk and you got strength. You know, you'll start noticing that it takes time. You have to be patient, but look at the wins you've accomplished, right?
Yeah.
And so there's no magic pill. I don't care what you're on out there, what the doctors say, that it's still hard work, but you have to learn how to love yourself first.
Oh, yeah.
If you love yourself, you want to take care of yourself. You buy a brand new car and you love it, you're out there, you're taking care of that car. You're polishing it, you're making sure the oil is changed. There's no different, right? So I love the fact that you are helping people as they look in the mirror, you're the window behind it, being like, nope, tell me 7 great things about yourself today.
Yeah.
You're not just working on the physicality of it, you're working on the mental part of it, because when you feel good, you have more drive. Then you start looking good, which makes you feel better. And then you have more energy. Let's talk about energy. Okay. In my 50s, I need a power nap every afternoon. Yeah. But when I do go to the gym, I don't. Why is that?
Why is it? Because you are at the gym. So the 640 muscles in your body, that's your largest metabolic organ.
Sweet. I have 640 of them.
Right. We all do.
I just wanted to say that. It's there.
Right. Well, you know, and talking about this whole conversation, again, you know, we're not taught in health class. We're not taught, and the conversation out there is not about muscle and how important it is to train it.
Right.
Because the weight loss, you know, we're chasing fat and not muscle. That's actually has been a slogan of mine and still is for a long time. So you're more energetic after you've worked out because you just moved those muscles and you got the blood flow and you got glycogen into the muscle and all things, and the endorphins are going, and it's like
more oxygen.
So just with that alone, one would think more people would want to experience that feeling. So then that's where I come into play too, because I'm a smaller studio, and women tend to have that fear and that intimidation factor when they're going into the large gyms, and then they just shy away and they don't want to do it. So you're coming to me I'm going to help you get through that. We're going to work and get you to understand that mindset that you were talking about prior, and just like changing that mindset and changing that attitude that, okay, if I come in here once this week for the next couple of weeks, I come in twice, right? I can do this and I can start moving. And then all of a sudden my energy is going to change.
I love that.
And then my attitude is, and then I'm going to be happier at home, especially the women that are in that perimenopausal. There's so many symptoms that one can go through.
Yep.
And I'm 58, so I'm on the post end of it. So I've been through a lot of that, but I will tell you, and I tell every woman, the one thing that I stayed consistent with was my strength training. Did I have to tweak and change things as I have progressively gotten older? Absolutely.
Sure.
I have to adjust and adapt and listen to my body. But the one thing that stayed was the lifting, which then minimized a lot of those symptoms.
I love that. My wife, Rita, aka the Phoenix.
Mhm.
Don't ask me. So she created an addiction to the gym, which is great. And the more we go, the more I go. She's looking great by the way. She's going through midlife. She's doing, she comes home, she's smiling, and then she's got to start her hard job, which is her day starts off usually pretty rough, but she's like, head first, let's get this, let's go. That starts your day.
Yep.
It really does. So she created an addiction out of it, which is great because you could be an addict to some other things that are so bad for you. If it's eating, stress eating, smoking, vaping, pills, whatever the case may be. And her thing is I wanted to make it an addiction. Now I have to go. I feel like I have to go. I can't wait to go. As in the beginning of it, and you probably have some clients in the beginning too, where they're like, but then when they get there, they're like, oh, this is great. Yeah. The hardest part is here to get from here to here and get there and do it. Right.
Well, the believing that it's actually true.
Yeah.
Because again, most women have encompassed themselves with people of the same mindset that they've had. Women have kind of hung out with people who were not as encouraging because, they were feeling, what's the saying that we become the 5 people we hang out with?
100%. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah.
If you got a friend that's handing you a brick while you're treading water, they're not a friend.
Yeah.
And yes, you can be 5 people. If you have 4 successful people in a room, there'll be a 5th. 4 rich people in a room, there'll be a 5th. 4 clowns in a room, there'll be a circus. If you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Yeah. It's 100% true.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I love how you encompass that and kind of go, well, let's take a look at the people you're around. Yeah. Let's look at the negativity you're constantly around. Let me put you in front of 5 very positive people and you'll see the difference. You might even be so timid to it. Yeah. Like, wow, is this real? Pinching yourself. Yeah. People are really like this. Yes, people are really like this. It's about the atmosphere you surround yourself in. So talk about a full spectrum infrared, is that infrared sauna? Yeah. What is that exactly?
I'm going to give you what I know and what I've researched and studied on it. I've got my first one when I was in the heat of perimenopause, and about the only thing I changed in that moment was getting in my sauna 3 or 4 days a week for up to 45 minutes. And the first thing I noticed was my skin, the texture just was plump. And I feel like I've always had good skin. I'm a Mary Kay consultant, so there's that. I wear a lot of hats.
Yes, you do.
But I got it because I had started experiencing headaches, things that weren't of the norm for me when I was cycling and doing all things. And I just felt amazing. And then not to mention after a hard leg day, or at the time I was training for half marathon, and just the recovery. So I was like, oh, there is really what they're saying. There's some truth behind it. So then I dug a little bit deeper, became partnered with some functional med practitioners in town who also agree about the benefits, and they have it too. So I have a full spectrum infrared sauna. So mine is the full. So there's a near, far, and a mid ray that are, as you sit inside there around the panels. any one of those rays is good. A lot of the ones that people have at home or some of the salons around here have like a single ray, like the near or the far. All that means is that each one of those rays targets us internally to a different depth, if you will. So because I have all three, we're going to have a ray, and I'm not even going to pretend that I remember which is which because I'll
Sure.
mess it up, but look it up. Okay.
Right. It's there.
Google it.
It's there. It's
Be
there.
careful where you Google. But one will target the metabolism. One targets like the brown fat, the visceral fat. One's going to target like organ health.
Okay.
And so with that being said, the more often you sit in there, again, like training, right? The more often you train, the stronger you're going to become. The more often you sit in that sauna, the deeper the detoxification becomes.
Is there heat involved or is it just light?
No, it is heat. So right now I'm just talking about the infrared. So
Okay.
when we're going to compare it to a conventional sauna,
Okay.
a conventional sauna you'll walk into, it's already heated up to like 200 degrees,
Yep.
been around for thousands of years, healthy. Look at Europe. But we get a little bit less in terms of deep detoxification. There's more like sweat off the surface of the skin. Again, it's great. This with the infrareds is different. The benefit is deeper because we're heating us up internally. So over time, we're looking at maybe 20, 30% detoxification
Okay.
through our body, right? So when we're looking at autoimmune disease, I've had cancer patients in there. I've had everybody in. The only client that ever had to really go in there maybe once a week was somebody who had a pacemaker because it does rev the engine, right? It helps increase the blood flow and all things. So that's the heating component. Mine gets up to about 147 degrees. So again, it gradually heats up
Slow process.
while you're sitting in there.
Versus the wabam, you're
right,
in there.
right,
And it's
and
hot.
it does it
Right.
purposely. There's some functional med practitioners who will set it and say, okay, based on your body and the conditions that are happening right now, we're only going to have it heat to 123 for X amount, right? Because you don't want to overdo, right, and you don't want to detox too fast, too much. So it's a kind of a little bit more controlled
Mhm.
also than a conventional. The LED light therapy in there, mine at the top gives off more than the red light. So it's got the red light for inflammation. It produces the yellow to the orange hue for, I believe that one's for like good thyroid maybe. And then there's a green, there's a blue, and I don't remember what those are for. But all good things for good brain health, stimulating healthy cells in the brain and the body.
Focus.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I have my studio is more of a fitness and wellness.
Okay.
So
Yeah, the wellness side. Man, that I had no idea, number one, about the sauna thing. I've always asked, and I was always scratching my head being like, is this a placebo machine?
right.
Because
right.
could it be? I don't know. But for the research that I've done, it's actually had factual
Oh yeah.
Analytics that work. So
Yeah.
all the power to you because thyroid disease. I'm
Yeah.
hypothyroidism.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to tackle. They instantly want to put you on a Synthroid. I have a family member who's got Hashimoto's.
Yeah.
And dysautonomia.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things, and especially after COVID, where everybody was locked away in their
Mhm.
dungeon for a while.
Yeah.
Between mental health and physical health has been damaged.
Yeah.
For a lot of people. So, folks, check it out real quick. Right above her head there, you'll see a QR code to the Midlife Movement. Go ahead and scan that. Reach out to her. It doesn't really cost anything to have a conversation.
No,
No,
free conversation.
you're here to help
Yeah.
people. So
Yes.
she's not a money gouger, folks.
No.
She's here to help. So check that out. Also in the descriptions below, you'll find all the links and how to get a hold of Mary and to be able to move forward. If you have any questions or if you feel like you're lost or stuck in this position, this is a great way to get some counseling and how to move forward. You can't go wrong, right? So, as we move forward, we have what for you, who is a good partner? who is someone that you would like to talk to out there that says this is something that I don't do, but I would like to meet and maybe partner up with to push farther into this space? What would be an ideal partner for you?
Gosh, you know,
And it's kind of a hard question, and a lot of people have a hard time answering, but it's a good question. And I'll tell you why, because there's so many people out there that you can mingle or mix up with to help more people.
right,
And they might be missing the element that you do.
right.
Right. So is there anything in particular out there that you'd be looking to talk to?
That is a good question. And I say that because I've been very blessed over the last several years creating connections in this community with like-minded people through chiropractors who are on a holistic. My girl, Carolyn Johnson, who owns Serenity NP, she wrote the foreword to my book.
Okay.
So she's in that functional med space. I had created and did a program for the autism community for 3.5 years. So that was a community that I got connected to through a client of mine. So gosh, with that being said, I'm sure there's
You're probably
companies out there.
you're right. I was going to say chiropractic
Yes,
or
right.
acupuncture
Yes.
or deep tissue
And
massage.
I have massage. Well, I had massage at my. I had massage in my studios early on. I've had yogis early on.
Nice.
Again, I've been blessed to have partnerships, but I've always been that girl who goes out like, hey, I do this. What do you do? Let's connect.
Yep.
Like I've been good. So
Relationship builder.
relationships and always wanting, because as much education as I take in year after year of all sorts of fitness and nutrition and all things, I know that I'm going to have men and women in front of me where my practice only is this, right? And they're going to come in with something that's out of that scope. So I've always wanted to be able to go, you know what? I don't have the answers here because I'll be the first, and I have no ego, no nothing, right? If I cannot answer you and if I cannot help you, guess what? But we're going to talk to Zach over at A to Z, or we're going to talk to Carolyn over here. And
Love Zach.
That practice.
I know, they're fun.
They're hilarious.
I was here the other day, actually.
Yeah. But so again, when I built this company, I wanted to make sure that I had those relationships because I don't know everything, and I want to be able to fully impact and help that client on every level. So I am sure, gosh, I'm sure
You're something.
plenty
Well, I didn't mean to
out
put you
there.
on a spot with it. But, it's always about, not all the time do you need to know the how. You just need to know the who that knows the how.
Yeah.
And that way they get to win too, on top of being able to help somebody else as well.
Yeah.
So I love that. So let's talk a little bit about the future.
Yeah.
Where are you looking to go next? How do you want to grow this business?
Well, starting in August, because I'm always looking to, as I get older, I'm looking ahead in my own future. Like, all right, if I'm getting into my 60s, then there's men and women out there in the 60s and 70s who are probably struggling, probably a little intimidated to jump into a strength training program that I have. So I just created a 55 plus class.
Love that.
That I'm going to bring I don't know if it's going to be once a week or maybe once or twice a month. I'm just going to see how it
goes.
happens.
Sure.
I've been marketing it. I've had so much fun with my own clientele who are like, oh, I want you guys to come in. Let's do a mock-up and let me put some videos together. So that's a definite future class. So anybody who's 55 or older.
55 or older.
Yes.
Scan the QR if you know how to at 55 or older.
Right.
Or the link below makes it a lot easier.
Or have your grandkid or something do it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's, kind of getting into those ages, I've seen seated yoga.
Mhm.
Is that what it is?
There's things like that.
So it's, looking, they're not trying to put you in the grave. They're trying to help you stay away from it.
Yeah.
And feel good about yourself. It's quality of life.
Oh, it's absolutely
100%.
quality of life. What I've done with this program, just so everybody knows out in the community, it's like a level before my strength program, which my strength program, what we didn't get to is when I said it was a personalized training in a small group, I literally mean that. So I know that on any given day and any given time of the day, I'm going to have, let's say 7 or 8 men and women in front of me who some have worked out with me for 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 2 days.
Okay.
And then all of them have some sort of kind of health hang up, right? Joint issues,
Oh yeah.
previous surgeries. So I take all of that. And even though my program is written on the board, they've got my video in my YouTube channel, I'm there on the floor to then walk each and every one of them through. Okay, so Barry, this is what we're going to do. I know your shoulder, so we're not going to do the bar, but I'm going to have you go boom, 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 go to that station, do that machine, whatever. So I literally personalize
You're
it.
customizing it per person. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's
So-
great.
Thank you. So then this new class, it will be the step before that strength training where somebody's coming in, they're 57, 62, 70, and they know they need to work the body. They don't want to and just go to a yoga class.
Yep.
They want an environment where we're going to be working coordination, eye and hand coordination skills, neuromuscular, a ton of balance. I'm going to purposely put them in like an unstable environment, which of course is safe, but taking everyday functionality, breaking it down, like break down that squat.
Yeah.
Like I want you to be able to squat and reach down and pick your grandkid up in your 90s and safely. So I'm going to teach you the mechanics and break it all down for you as to how we're going to do that. But we're going to do it in an instructed group setting with some circuits, and it's going to be fun. And it's going to be a place where they can come for an hour, learn some stretch, mobility, have a blast, and just get their body leaning towards stronger, more stable,
Flexible.
so that ultimately they can go, you know what? I want to do that strength class now, and I want to incorporate that now maybe 2 days a week, and I still want to do this Saturday class.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And, you know, I like how you say you bend down and pick up your grandkid where,
Yeah.
you know, some of the trials and tribulations for my age is tie my shoes to where if I can bend that far down, then I'd be able to do it. So flexibility's got a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's Deke's birthday coming around the corner here. That'd be a great, you know, birthday gift. Get you in there. Check it out. I think you'd enjoy that, Deke. He shakes his head, yes. Oh, the red light? You do the red light?
Red
For
light?
sure you would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for everybody.
It's not going to grow hair back, buddy, but I mean, it'll do the job for what you need it to do. I love picking on Deke. So let's talk. So we have how many books?
I have authored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 books, right? Go ahead and rattle off some titles.
Okay. My very, very first one, which is I look back and I'm like, oh, you're so cute. I was so novice. In the help, and I do want to put a shout out to my best girl, Carolyn Aspenson writer. We went to high school together. She is a USA Today, like up on like the top of the charts. She writes mysteries and cozy mysteries and thrillers. And she saw something in me like 10 years ago. She's like, I like how you're blogging. I'm like, girl, I don't even know how to put a sentence together. But she's like, no, you're the author. It's not your job to edit. It's your job to tell the story. And I was like, oh, I love telling the story. You know, everybody knows me, and it's all stories and hand gestures. I'm not even Italian. So, so my first one I wrote shortly after my divorce. So it's called The Midlife, and that's where the Midlife Movement started in terms of my brand. It's the Midlife Movement, 8 steps to a happy and healthy lifestyle for women of a certain age. Just a cute little book that, you know, kind of talks about some trials and tribulations of being a statistic. Honestly, all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. Because, you know, as I've been this athlete and this woman, I've always early on was like, oh, I really want to be relatable to the normal woman. Like, not that I had an ego, but I was like, if I'm going to be Jim Mary, I kind of have to be a little bit here and have nothing relatable to these women, right? I don't know why I had this mindset, but it has certainly changed after menopause. But when I started looking at the statistics to do this book, and there was 70% of the female population that were 40 that became single moms in a situation that I did, where all of a sudden you were just like, oh, I thought I was living this lifestyle and I thought there was money in the bank and da. And here I am with 3 girls. And within about 24 hours, I had to figure out where I'm going to live. Right. So when I looked at the statistics, I was like, damn, wow, I'm like, part of 70%. That's a large population of women. And that really drove me in so many ways in terms of the mindset conversation and the training, because I had to work on my own mindset in that moment. I had to flip the switch, which took a while. So I wrote that book first, started building my business. And over the last couple of years, I created a fitness and nutrition tracking book for my clients, but it's basically for anybody. So I created that. Then I created the Gratitude Attitude Journal.
Love that.
So while I was in Florida waiting for my second grandbaby to be born, it was like a God moment. It was like I had been thinking about putting something like that together, because when I did get divorced, I started journaling, even though I thought it was all just a crock of, you know what?
Sure,
It's like,
sure.
everybody tells me to journal and just write out my thoughts.
It makes a difference.
Because I'm not going to go to therapy, because no, I'm not going to do that. But
Right.
I just started vomiting, and I was like, oh, so this is why every third Thursday this happens. And you start connecting the dots and you try to figure yourself
Yep.
out. So what I did while I was waiting for my grandbaby to be born, I took all of the key points that I had journaled and created 8 chapters in this book of like how to take a compliment. Why is spirituality important in life, and all these things. And I created 8 chapters for the person to read. A little bit of, I put a story, and then I put some prompts of, well, hey, when I journaled, I did this, and that. Maybe this would help you too. So gave some prompts on how to journal about the spirituality, or how to take the compliment, or how to do whatever. Prompt it, and then left like 3 or 4 pages for them to journal, and then put a cute picture on the front. So then I published that. And then my most recent one, The Great Hormone Heist, that was 2 years in the making of, on the post side of menopause, I took every last symptom that I went through from 47 all the way through, and put them in the book, stories. Then I had research, data, conversation about how to maybe not go through what I did, because you're going to exercise, and here's some nutrition conversation and so forth. So that's my latest.
Wow. So well accomplished. And I love the how to take a compliment. I can talk about that in a whole episode on itself, how to receive a gift, what it's like being an 80s kid and how we were trained. Right.
Yeah.
Listen, folks, that QR above her head there, that'll take you right to her. What a fantastic, but thanks for coming out for this interview. I do want to mention one more thing. We have a podcast coming up, don't we?
We do.
We do. It's nothing says commitment than me throwing it out there right now.
I love it.
So, Midlife Unhinged, it's you and
My girl, Carrie.
and Carrie. Yeah. We're really just going to be a 216 show here. We can't wait to have that come out. Stay tuned for that, folks. It's going to be a fun, wild ride with these guys. They're a bunch of fun. Thanks for joining us on our show today. Appreciate you coming. Appreciate everything you're doing to help as many people out there. So you heard it here, guys. Mary Boyer. Check her out. Can't go wrong. Listen, let's talk local. Listen global.
Every story's worth a little bliss. From the heart of the town to the open air, let's talk local, we're taking you there. 216 Creator Studios, where the magic starts. Local businesses, their real work of art. From the cafes to the shops on the